Hey everyone, Pastor Curtis here with another quick question video. Justin asked me, should teenagers tithe? And for anyone who might not know what the word tithe means, it's another way of saying giving or donating, or sometimes churches say offering. And the Bible teaches in many places that a part of true worship to God is being generous, not only with your money, but with your time and with your abilities and with your resources. Being generous. Numbers 18:26 is one of those verses. Proverbs 3:9-10 teaches that. 2 Chronicles 31, 4-5. Deuteronomy 12, 5-6. Nehemiah 10, 35-37. And many other verses show the traditional reasons behind why we tithe to the Lord. And basically that traditional reason is it was commanded for us to do so. But then in Mark chapter 12, verses 41-44, I think we get a really good glimpse of our answer to this question. So let me read it to you. It says, Jesus sat down opposite the place where the offerings were put and watched the crowd putting their money into the temple treasury. Many rich people threw in large amounts, but a poor widow came and put in 2 very small copper coins worth only a few cents. Calling his disciples to him, Jesus said, "Truly I tell you, this poor widow has put more into the treasury than all the others. They all gave out of their wealth, but she gave out of her poverty, put in everything, all she had to live on." See, this woman gave everything. She was poor, and yet she felt blessed by God. Tithing isn't a choice of whether we should or shouldn't, but rather tithing is a must. The first thing to do with a paycheck or an allowance or a gift that you've been given or something that you've worked hard to do to earn is tithe. God gifted you with abilities, time, wisdom, and knowledge to be able to work. God has blessed you with so many things you don't deserve. And out of faithfulness and obedience to Him, you should not only tithe your money, but tithe those abilities back to God as well. Matthew 6:21 says, "For where your treasure is, there your heart will be also." If you think about it, God is asking here, what do you value? What's important to you? Is God important to you? As a teenager, think of that verse in Matthew this way. What is my treasure? Is my treasure my life with God? Or is it sports, school, new technology, buying iPhones, getting the newest computer or video game? What's your treasure? Your focus should be on God. And if you put your focus on God, soon you'll realize what Luke 6:38 says about the blessing that God can give back to you. It says, "Give and it will be given to you. A good measure, pressed down, shaken together, and running over will be poured out into your lap. For with the measure you use it, it will be measured to you." Our wealth, our gifts, everything we have is from God. He is the provider of money and our talents. So, God can bless you whenever He wants to. So do teenagers need to tithe? Do they need to give back to God, not only their money, but their talents as well? Absolutely. Honor God, worship God, and show God that you know that wealth and good things and blessings come only from Him. Honor Him like the widow by giving God your absolute best to Him every time you get paid, every time you get that gift in the mail, every time you get an allowance. Give your best to God. Give to Him first before you go out and spend all your money. And give Him the best of your abilities, your time, your talents, your gifts as well. Trust God for His promise that if we are faithful to Him with what we have, He will be faithful to us. It's not about a percent. It's not about how much you can give in a year or who gives the most. It's about being faithful to give back to God since He blesses us in the first place. Now, some of you teenagers might say, "Well, I'm off the hook because I never have money." But it doesn't work that way. God doesn't just expect us to honor Him with our money, with our time, our skills, our attitudes, our labor, our brains, our work ethic, and every part of us. So I hope that through this you can realize tithing and giving back to God are acts of worship and obedience out of faith towards God. God bless you, and I hope you realize, teens, you need to tithe too.